tryna take my throne. They couldn't build their own. They can't believe my growth. They see the change, the tone, but they couldn't handle that. Nope, they couldn't handle that. If they really knew the fact, they really don't to have a gift.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel where we discuss popular mainstream music. And in this video, we're going to be comparing and contrasting the two incredible music artists, Normani and Tate McRae. Okay, Normani and Tate McRae. And the reason why I want to compare and contrast these artists, first of all, you have to understand, we don't really choose a winner in these verses, in this versus series that I do. We don't choose a winner. What we're doing is comparing and contrasting artists, talking about how they're similar, how their influence is similar, and how they're different. And how interesting it is to see similar artists in different perspectives. Okay, so this is a compare and contrast. This is about seeing two, and we're talking about Tate and Normani because they occupy a pop artist that we kind of see as the same, which is a performing, dancing pop artist. And they both occupy that, and they both are seen as the next dance pop star. Normani was seen to be the one, and Tate McRae is on the run for it now. So it's very interesting how their careers, are alike, and in terms of their pop categories, and seeing their potential and what influence they are and why they're here as artists. So we're going to be looking into them. We're going to be comparing and contrasting them. So let's get into it. And before we get into that, if you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that is my music. Definitely check it out, guys. I'm a music artist too. That's my single, Depression. It's out now on Spotify and Apple Music. So definitely check it out. I'd really appreciate it. It's also here on YouTube, and all my other music is here as well too. So my artist name is Sam Dolphin. Please check it out. I'd really appreciate the support. So getting back into Normani versus Tate McRae, okay? And the first thing I want to get into is their career trajectories and how we've seen their artists and their potential influence, okay? And starting with Normani. Normani was seen as the next pop girl, the girl to take it, okay? She was getting comparisons of Beyonce. Her dancing skills, her performance skills were just on such a high level compared to her contemporaries and everyone that was there that she was automatically compared to Beyonce. Now, I personally think Normani is way closer to Janet Jackson, but it doesn't matter. Beyonce was the latest superstar, so that's what a lot of people are gonna compare her to. But she was seen as the next girl up, like the girl who's gonna take it, the girl that's gonna have all the crazy performances, the girl to be the main it girl. That's what we saw her as, okay? And also a black pop girl, okay? Very, very, very big. And she was seen as the next girl up. Now, it didn't go that way because of the delays between singles, Normani's personal issues and personal life. Okay, and then Normani's feelings about her career. So it didn't come out to that trajectory as we saw it, but she easily could have been that girl. And even though it didn't turn out the way we all were hoping for it to come out, still with the music videos that she's done, Wild Side, Motivation, she still has made major impact and major influence and got a lot of the other girls dancing and putting out performances. I remember every time Normani would put out a video or something, other artists would drop the same day or week in the same time. It was like everyone was watching her. She was that girl. So definitely major potential, but obviously didn't end up being that way because of the delays and the different choices made in her career. Now we have Tate McRae, okay, where Tate McRae is now executing her position. Now, Tate McRae clearly is the dance pop girl, and the top one right now. Normani was like the pioneer to bring that dance back, and now Tate McRae is like the icing on the cake. She is capitalizing off of that. And she's doing so well as all the dance girls. She is really like the top dance girl right now, the top pop dance girl right now. And she is executing her spot, okay? Now, her singles are doing pretty decent, pretty good, you know, with her singles. They've been doing pretty good. But there's still room for even more better charting, more better improvement. She hasn't had her own number one, but she has had it with recently right now with Morgan Wallen. So she's doing really good, really executing her stuff. Her dance solo breaks have been doing lots of TikTok viral moments. She is really catering to her brand, her dance brand, and she's really pushing it out there, and she's taken the position and has ran with it. Okay, now is she the top pop girl? No, not necessarily yet. There's Sabrina Carpenter, there's Chappell Roan, who are occupying that spot. Olivia Rodrigo, she still is trying to work her way up. Whereas if I were to see with Normani was really like, if Normani had something consistent going on, she would have undeniably be the top pop girl with no hesitation. Like, there was so much anticipation for Normani. There's no way she wouldn't have been if her label was pushing out her music, supporting her. If she was doing the music that people wanted as well too, she would have been the top girl, no questions asked, because the numbers that she was making without radio, without videos, without major label support, the way she was making numbers like that, it was undeniable. So lots of potential, but didn't take the position. And Tate McRae, she is taking the position, but she's fighting to get to that top, to be that top girl. She's fighting her way. She still has to claw her way. So very interesting career trajectories, both of them. Now, when it comes to dance and performance, when it comes to Normani to me has lots of rhythm and soul and technique, okay? Normani has been taking dance classes since she was young. She went to a big performing arts school, like a really popular top one. She's done so many dances. She's a really good dancer. She's even athletic, okay, with the splits and like she be like kind of like doing some b-boy stuff. Like, she really be doing it, okay? She really be doing it. And that's the technical part, you know, of her. But she also has soul and rhythm. She has that natural black girl soul and rhythm to her performances, which is amazing. And that's, to me, what makes her such a great dancer. When you saw her dancing on Motivation, you saw how she was just whipping it. And the choreography is great, but she has the swag to carry that choreography. She has the swag, she has the soul. So incredibly rhythmic. Whereas you have Tate McRae. Tate McRae, to me, super excels at technicality. Like, she excels at technicality. She has rhythm, definitely, but she really excels at technicality. She is so technical. Like, Tate McRae was a protege. Like, she was seen as something incredible at such a young age. She won super duper high dance competitions. She's incredibly trained, incredibly technical. She's had all the classical training, everything. And you see it in her flexibility and her execution. So, amazing technical dancer. When it comes to both Normani and Tate, I think they're both incredible dancers and the top dancers of the industry. You know, if you compare them to Doja, Tinashe, Victoria Monet, Tyla, you compare them to all the dancers, I would say Normani and Tate are the top. But Tate, to me, she's more on the technical end, okay? And Normani, to me, is more on the soulful end, okay? The swaggy end, the style, the culture, the soul. And to me, Tate has the technicality, okay? Both of them, they actually both have both. Like, they both have rhythm and technicality, but one is more on the rhythm and the soul, and one is more on the technicality, which is Tate, and Normani is soul and rhythm. So, powerful dancers, top dancers in the industry. Also, when it comes to music, I feel like with Normani, even the singles that she didn't like Motivation, I think some of her singles really represent her huge potential and her sound. Motivation showed that we loved her as a pop star, and that's what we were looking for as a pop star. So Motivation just screamed that, because even if you didn't like Motivation that much, the whole production of it just sold. And then also Wild Side, that showed her more edgier side, her more R&B dance side. with Wild Side. And then Candy Paint. I love Candy Paint because Candy Paint is like very up-tempo, very like hip-hop pop, very up-tempo, a fun beat, a swaggy beat. I think Candy Paint would have done super well, especially she revamped it with harmonies. Candy Paint would have done so well with the music video. It would have been like, to me, a revamped Motivation to me, because just more hip-hop-ish, more funk. So I feel like those songs really represent Normani. She's like a pop R&B artist, okay? That up-tempo pop music with like soul, a little hip-hop and R&B to give it some soul, and some edge. So I really feel like those songs really represent her. Even her song Take My Time on Dopamine, I thought that would have been a really good single for her as well too. It's a great pop song. It's very catchy, but it still has some soul in it too. That pop R&B dance is definitely Normani. Now with Tate McRae had Greedy, which Greedy did very well, and it was the song that she really got to be able to really dance to. Sports Car, It's Okay, I'm Okay. I really love those songs. They're very up-tempo, really great dances. Gives you that gives you that 2000s vibe, like the Pussycat Dolls and stuff like that. Really there, and you could tell that's the sound that she's going for, and she's really going for. I still do think that the sound from her earlier albums should come back too. Some of her pop songs and her pop ballads should really come back. I think it will really give a nice mixture, and I think that's what people really want. A lot of her songs from her earlier albums are really good, but that's the kind of sound and music that they're giving. So they both do that up-tempo pop dance type of music. Normani is a little bit more R&B-ish, and Tate is a little bit more pop-ish. But it's still pop dance, overall. So again, they're very similar in that way, making dance music. And last but not least, I feel like these artists emulate specific artists that I see kind of in them. It's like a resurrection in a different manifestation, different era. And for me, when it comes to Normani versus Tate McRae, it's kind of looking at a Janet versus Britney to me. Normani being Janet, Tate being Britney. And Janet, of course, is the blueprint, just like Normani is the blueprint. Janet was the first. She is the definition of a dance female pop star. She was the blueprint for that. She pioneered that. And with Normani coming out with Motivation in 2018, a time where you did not see any heavy dance videos, she was the pioneer to re-put back dance into pop mainstream music, okay? We were basically only getting Beyonce, so she was a new, fresh look, and she really put that out there. Now you got so many other people dancing, but Normani was like that pioneer to really bring it back amongst a bunch of pop girls that were just more so singing about sad songs. So Normani is like that pioneer, very similar to Janet is a pioneer. Also, Normani has soul and rhythm the way Janet has soul and rhythm. Okay, very much so. They got that rhythm, they got that natural soul and swag. That bad girl, sassy, black girl, natural swag. And then you have Tate McRae and Britney. Britney was obviously very influenced by Janet Jackson. So you see that, but with Britney's very acrobatic. This is very much like Tate McRae. Okay, Tate McRae came after Normani and really started kind of like, and she's from the same label, but I feel like the RCA started looking to Tate McRae. It was like, all right, then you're going to be our dance girl. Since, Normani's not doing it, you're going to be our dance pop girl. And she kind of took it and went after that blueprint. And is sitting in the shoes, just like how Britney was very influenced by Janet Jackson and used that dance blueprint, okay, for her artistry, even though they're still different. And also, again, technicality. Britney is very acrobatic. Britney can do backflips. She was very acrobatic and very technical in a way that stood her out as a dancer, her acrobatic skills. Same thing with Tate McRae. Tate McRae is incredibly technical, very well trained, very acrobatic, very flexible, which stands her out as a dancer, okay? And that's what stood Britney away from Janet, was that Britney obviously didn't have like Janet's rhythm, but Britney was very acrobatic. It gave her her own style. Same thing with Tate McRae. I would say Normani is a little bit more rhythmic than Tate McRae, but Tate McRae is definitely more technical. So definitely giving me Normani, Tate McRae, Janet, Britney type of vibes. So yes, that is our comparison or contrast between Tate McRae and Normani versus Tate McRae, whatever you want to look at it. Tell me how you see about these dance pop stars. Tell me what you think about them, their potential, Normani's, Tate. Tell me what you feel about them. Do you feel like they're the top dancers of the industry? Do you think they're taking their position very well? Let me know in the comments section, and I'll check you guys out on the next video. Thanks for watching. Also, don't forget to check out my music, guys. I'm a music artist too. Definitely check out my music. It's here on Spotify, Apple Music, and here on YouTube. So definitely check it out. I'd really appreciate the support. And again, I'll check you guys out on the next video. Thanks for watching.
They really knew the fact, they really don't. To have a gift, it is a curse. To be the